Hi, I'm Sean with Nowhere Games, and I just wanted to take this time to thank you so much for clicking on this video. It means the world to me. And if you like what you see, please subscribe and share with your friends. I have thought of 5 reasons why I believe game development is one of the most difficult industries to get into. The first, time. The second, competition. The third, buy in. Fourth, talent. And fifth, return on investment. So let me break these down into more detail. The first is time. It takes time to make a video game. And as it should, because making a game is an art form. In art, good art takes time. Even a simple project can take upwards of a year or more to make. And why does it take so long? Because you can spend hours working on something simple that you thought was going to maybe take a few minutes, can end up taking a whole workday, whether it's making an asset or solving a coding problem. And our job as indie developers is to decide when you have put in enough time to that asset or that coding problem. When is it good enough? When is it interesting enough that someone's going to buy it? Otherwise, you will spend all your time working on a single asset and you don't have a completed project. The second point I'd like to make is competition. Making a game is immensely competitive. Now is the best and the worst time to get into game development. The best because, as I mentioned before, technology and AI have made it easier than ever to get into the game industry. The worst time because, for the same reasons, everybody wants to do it. And how do you stand out as a game developer? How do you make your game interesting enough that someone's going to buy that game instead of someone else's? My third point is the buy in. And this can be taken in different ways. The first way is purely financially speaking. You have to be able to support yourself while you're working on your game. And your game probably isn't making money, especially if you're just starting out. Another way of looking at it is what I like to call the security deposit. Steam asks that you pay some money up front when you put your game on their platform. And this is because if they didn't have this, everyone would be putting their game on Steam, and these games may or may not make money. So how does Steam make money off all these games that may or may not be successful? And it's with this security deposit. So if your game makes enough money, that deposit gets refunded back to you. But for all the games that aren't successful, aren't selling, Steam can fall back on that security deposit to protect their investments. And that's not too much of an ask on them. They have to make money. It's a business. So the next point is talent. And as an indie game developer, you have to wear a lot of hats. You have to be a jack of all trades. I am not super familiar with the AAA industry, but from what I understand is if you are an artist in a AAA studio, you are an artist. You're probably not spending a lot of time coding or marketing, or if you're in the financial sector, you're probably not spending a lot of time in Blender or doing art. As an indie developer, this is not the case. You have to have your dip your toes in a lot of different departments. Some of the roles that you have to fill as an indie developer are coder, artist, sound designer, potentially a director if you have a small team, finance, marketing and sales, testing and QA. Maybe you're a designer. And even if you have a team, you have to have at least a basic understanding of these fields in order to bring a game from its initial stages to production. There's a small return on investment, at least when you're first starting out. And even when your game starts making money, it's probably not paying you back for the amount of time and sacrifice that you've already put in to that first game. How much have you already sacrificed? How much time have you already put in outside of your full-time job or whatever it may be that you do?